Hello everyone, this is CJNovo992 and today we're back from the brand new video. Now today's video, we are here to sit down, react and discuss Rangers 4, Dundee United 0, which is absolutely beautiful because we made that mob look utter pish. And coming into this game of football, there was a hell of a lot of eyes on the Rangers defence and on the skipper Tavernier, who was set to make his 250th appearance for Rangers today versus Dundee United, which is a truly fantastic testament to the player and man that Tavernier is, because 250 appearances for Rangers, that right there isn't an easy feat. And if you actually look into his 250 games, by the way, before today's output, he averaged a goal every 5 games and an assist every 1.3 in 250 games for Rangers. He's a right back. That is honestly unreal. Now I know he's got his critics amongst the fans, but by God has he got his critics away from this football club, and they're looking at this game as a possibility of ruining a fantastic day for Tavernier and also ruining the defensive line's record that they were trying to break, as more and more records just seem to fall. We've broken club records, we've broken SPFL records, we're now breaking Scottish football records. Now this is the 7th game in a row now with a clean sheet. So before we go ahead and talk about the great goal scoring chances and the dirty cheating frown and clown by the name of Kevin Clancy, let's go ahead and say defence. Well done, lads. That's a fantastic achievement. Now, this is usually where I dive into the game recap and I speak about a couple of chances early on, who had the first chance and all that malarkey. But it's honestly got to be said, before we even kicked the ball off today, there was injury news because Leon Balogun was supposed to be playing in this game. We saw from the interview on Rangers TV that this was sort of designed for having Balogun in to rest Hollander, who obviously played for Sweden versus Portugal against some guy called Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't know, never heard of the boy, good luck to him. Anyway, so there was all that plan, but that plan got ripped up through right over the shoulder as Balogun had a wee problem in the warm-up, so he limped up the tunnel, and Commander Hollander was set to make his appearance with Edmondson now on the bench. So that right there could have actually been a wee bit of a problem for Rangers, because yes, you're expecting everyone to be able to step up, but again, game plans and that, the way the game is these days, everything's so structured and everyone has their own responsibilities. That could have shook us at the back, but in truth, it really didn't. But unfortunately, that wasn't the only injury problem in the game, and as many of you know, because in 8 minutes, and I think it was in the 8th minute actually, which is quite ironic because he is number 8, Ryan Jack actually just sat down. There was no dirty challenge, there was nothing to do with this one. This is just a problem with his calf. That it looked like he sat down right at the halfway line and just signalled right away, which probably tells us all that there may have been a wee problem with Ryan Jack, but they're waiting to see how it went. But aye, he was able to walk off the park, which is a great sign, so hopefully it's more precautionary rather than reactionary to an actual problem. But it didn't look good for Jacko, and touchwood, we see him back in a Ranger strip very soon. So if you're keeping count at home, that's 2 injuries already, 1 before the game and 1 during the game, and we're only 8 minutes in, and we all know what happened the rest of the game. But it's actually got to be said, Glenn Kamara, who again had a fantastic couple games for Finland, strolling it, swaggering about, came in to the starting 11. I thought he did actually play pretty damn well alongside Stephen Davis. I think he was a bit more freer in his game versus Dundee United, a lot like he is for Finland, and I thought that brought out the best of Glenn Kamara, because less than 4 minutes after the forced change again for Rangers ended up taking the lead in the game with I mean, what more can I say apart from it's Ryan frickin' Kent. I almost feel like I didn't even need to say anything else, because this kid is playing at such a high level right now. It's absolutely scrum-delicious, because the ball starts with him down on the left hand side, one touch, driving inside, passes to Hadji stops the ball dead, waits for Kent to get in the right place. He just nutmegs the defender so nonchalantly. Then Kent just takes the ball, just does the wee shimmy, as we like to do here on the channel, but he's also just staying step overs. The defender that was trying to block him was like, he was almost getting further away from it all the time. Kent just opened the space up, smashed it in, fantastic finish, unreal. Now before we continue on with the game recap, I'm not really sure in case everyone caught this, but before we actually scored, 24 seconds before we scored, the camera panned up to your man Joe Aribo, and then 24 seconds later the ball's in the back of net. Now that might just be me reading into things, but that kid's so talented, he isn't even on the park yet, he's still involved in the goals. But after we got that vital goal in the game. Rangers certainly threatened to turn the old tempo up as we started to play a little bit quicker. And I actually thought Barker was starting to come into the game a bit because we were using his pace a lot. And I've got to be honest, I actually think he put in a very good cross as well that we maybe should have done a wee bit better in. But with this building tempo from Rangers, the building pressure from Rangers, just a couple of minutes after opening the score, and it was all kind of halted right away because after a beautiful wee ball in behind the defence from Kent to Barker, Barker can't get there, he pulls up right away, he's feeling his hamstring, he signals, and that's the second player off 15 minutes into the game. So again, it was very clear that Barker wouldn't be able to continue the game on, and he came off 60 to 90 seconds later after holding his hamstring. But what was weird is we had to wait 4 minutes to get Morelos on the actual part. So for 4 minutes we played with 10 men versus 12, and to be fair, Dundee United didn't really offer anything. But eventually when Morelos was allowed to come on the park, I was actually quite impressed with not only like his work rate but his ability just to try and bring others into play. I think he knows himself that he's not really carried himself in the best light, especially with that week where he half-arsed it expecting team to move on. But I thought I was really impressed with that game. Like, he was not only trying to make it up to us, the fans, who are a wee bit cross with him, but I thought he was trying to make it up to a lot of the players in there as well, saying, while I'm here, I'm going to give everything a go. And he was putting himself about, and that leads us perfectly to the 25th minute where he does try and get the ball up to Ryan Kent. The pass isn't great, but he shows his quickness and his alertness and his work rate actually to run back, go and get the ball, find Kent. Kent beats a man far too easily, passes to Morelos. Then Morelos very cleverly tries a first time pass to Roof, who tries to do like a back heel sort of move. Now, it is very well saved by the keeper, and it would have been a brilliant goal if the goalie didn't save it and it wasn't offside. But very impressed with Alfredo Morelos' work rate instantly when he came on the park. Now from that chance we have to jump all the way to the 39th minute, but this isn't one of these games with Rangers where we took the foot off the gas and started getting very passive and stuff never happened for 15 minutes. No. Rangers were just a wee bit unlucky with a final execution, whether it was a final pass or whether it was a wee final bit of skill move. We were still trying, we were still pressing, we were still going after Dundee United, but we just didn't have that final bit of luck to create a big opportunity within that time span. But let's go to the 39th minute of this game where we made it 2-0 after the ball down the left hand side. Now Barisic takes a touch, he goes to cross it now, it is deflected, but I'm still going to say it's a bit of Barisic magic because I don't care, I love the boy, alright, I love the guy, give him his assist. Fantasy football apps. I'm sick of my boy getting screwed there in the old fantasy world. But anyway, back to the actual real life and the stuff that actually matters. The cross again is deflected, but it's a brilliant deflection if you want. And Tavernier, who's at the back post chasing in, there's our right winger right there, ladies and gentlemen. I keep saying we need to go ahead and sign a right winger. No, we didn't. We've got one. His name's Tavernier. It just starts at right back. It's well worked. He's gambled. He's getting into the back post. Something we hoped and prayed for on his channel. More people gambling at the back post. Tavernier has that freedom now to do that with the holding midfielders now protecting the right back a bit more securely. So he's there to tap it in, and he scores in his 250th game. And what an accomplishment, and what a goal for Rangers as well, because that was important. No matter how much we were controlling the game and absolutely dominating every aspect of the game, the second goal in the game's always going to help, because you saw what it done from the Dundee United perspective. They just kind of went, oh, frickin' no. In saying that, however, I was actually screaming, oh no, because in the 42nd minute of this game, Dundee United's best chance of the game actually falls to former Rangers man Nicky Clark, who showed that history repeating itself as he has a major opportunity at Ibrox, but he hits it miles wide. So over to the second half we go, and there was no messing about for Rangers as we went after them and went for the throat right away, because in the 47th minute of the game we end up creating two major opportunities. The first one starts with Tavernier, who's behind absolutely everything. Of course he does. He wins the ball back, he's powerful, he's running forward, he passes to Ryan Kent, who finds Kemar Roof, shifts onto that right foot. You're expecting him to do a hell of a lot better, but again the goalkeeper there is equal it, and he saves it well, and he gets it eventually clear. More good play followed in the 53rd minute as Alfredo Morelos was really on point. I think especially in the start of the second half, I thought he was absolutely everywhere, getting the ball back, working hard for his teammates, trying to bring others into play. You saw Morelos start to grow in this attack in the 53rd minute. He was behind absolutely everything, because he gives it to Kemar Roof, who eventually does lose out, but his awareness again to get in front of his man, plays a beautiful pass in behind the defence. Morelos reads it perfectly, and he actually gets his head up. Now normally Alfredo Morelos is hitting this for a stupid angle, and it's usually hitting the side of the net, because how many times have we seen that? But this is a wee bit of a different Alfredo Morelos. He's working a wee bit harder for his teammates. Again, like we mentioned earlier, maybe that's on his mind mind that he needs to try and win some of his teammates back. Again, I'm not saying that's for sure, but it certainly seemed like he was going that extra mile to show that he's all about the fight. But he gets his head up, he flashes a brilliant ball over to Ryan Kent, but maybe he just hit it too well because Kent can't sort his feet and it ends up going out for a goal kick. So you might be able to tell by now Rangers were in complete ascendancy in the start of the second half, and that coincided with Alfredo Morelos looking back to his best. But Dundee United must have noticed that as well, because in the 54th minute an absolute disgraceful challenge comes in. Now, I know he originally wins the ball, but we all know, we have seen this story before with Jacko, with Stevie May last season, stuff over in the past. If you put your studs up, and he's clearly meaning to catch Morelos, let's just be adults here. Doesn't matter who you support. That right there, we've all played the game of football, right? We've all been pissed off and we've all left a wee bit on someday, and that's clearly what that was all about for that dirty SOB. And he just puts his foot into Alfredo Morelos to try and take him out the game. It's an absolute horrific challenge. Morelos has got a bloody hole in his leg like he was sniped at Call of Duty. It's honestly about that big. You can almost see the grace. But somehow, despite the clearest red card challenge you will see all season long, despite Morelos rolling about with a hole in his leg, this clown does not only not give a red card, he doesn't give a yellow card for the challenge, and he doesn't even give a foul, ladies and gentlemen. The only reason this idiot puts his whistle in his mouth is because everyone else is stopped and pointing at Morelos is rolling about with that in his leg. And can we all just say, in case you haven't seen what I'm talking about, this is the challenge right frickin' here. And how, honestly, despite who you support, can you say that that isn't a straight red card? And Ken, what's sad about this frowning clown, this isn't the only time he's ever done this. Every single game he's in charge of Rangers, he has this frickin' moment. It's just thankful now, as us being fans, our team's at a level now we can battle against this incompetency every single time he's in charge. It's honestly like playing against 12 men every time he's in control of a Rangers game, and I'm just sick to death. But anyway, that's enough talking about that empty beanbag. Let's get back to actually talking about the football, because despite everything that's gone on, we didn't lose our head or lose our focus in this game. In fact, we actually created another couple major opportunities. The first one is in the 62nd minute where Hadji gets the ball, kind of shifts it onto his right hand side, forces a very good save from the keeper, and then this is when Calvin Bassey just started to come into the game and come in to his own, because he's actually the furthest man forward on the left hand side to force a shot that the goalkeeper is yet again there to answer. It was almost became the Bassey show, because even a couple of minutes after that, the boy has the ball on the left hand side, he's willing, he's running, he's powerful, and Dundee United just cannot push him off the ball. He ends up nearly doing Aribo-esque stuff versus Braga. He nearly done that within 5 minutes of coming on the park. But as it has been a wee while since we talked about a goal, let's talk about the third goal in this game, and it came in the 68th minute where once again Tavernier, Connor Goldson, Kent, they were all involved in it. Again, every one of them had a truly fantastic game of football, because the ball eventually gets shifted over to Ryan Kent and he just shuffles a wee pass into Scotty Arfield, and Scotty Arfield, I don't know where he's putting his burst of pace for. I don't know what we fed him before the game, but I like it, people. Let's keep shoveling that in his gullet, because he just takes a touch, leaves the Dundee United defender for dead, has a shot, and now, I don't know if it's gone in or that, I've not seen too many angles, but Kamar Roof's awareness and his cleverness and maybe his poacherness, don't know if that's a word, I'll continue. Anyway, he's in the middle of the box and he's just there to make sure of it. He's not going to wait to see if it goes in. He's a centre forward and he's slapping that back in. Now, from that third goal in the 68th minute, we actually need to dive all the way to the 85th minute to talk about the next talking point, because the game is just marred with dirty challenge for Dundee United, dirty challenge for Dundee United, dirty challenge for Dundee United, as I'm now... that wasn't intentional, by the way, but I'm going to keep it there because it fits absolutely perfectly. And speaking of absolutely perfectly, Hartness, I thought he actually had a pretty decent game for Dundee United. In the 85th minute, he has a shot that is struck sweet as you like, and it ends up, thankfully for us, rocketing the bar, and I think they've ended up going into the air and dropping to someone in the box, but he ends up rattling it about 8 mile over the bar. Now, with the defensive records there and the spotlight that's on that defence, they might have started to get a wee bit nervous with them rocketing the bar. But what I really liked about this Rangers team is, after they hit that, how did we respond? Well, we responded by getting the football down and just carving them open with an absolute peach of a team goal. And it's obviously going to start with your man, Connor Goldson. Of course it does. I absolutely love the big boy, and not only for this pass I'm about to talk about, but all damn day he was dropping balls Oh, early shop. He looked like Tom Brady in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl, just dropping it everywhere. What a performance for him, and it was summed up in the fourth goal because he takes a touch, drills a low-driven pass between, I don't know, 5 Dundee United players, goes right past the midfield, straight into Ryan Kent, who takes one touch, finds your man down the right-hand side. It's a beautiful wee touch for Hadji. He's running, he gets his head up, which I really like for Hadji. He waits and he waits. Arfield comes through using that pace. I don't know who he stole it for. Maybe Joe Rebo and Ryan Jack before the game, but he takes a touch there and his finish is absolutely beautiful. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That is the game breakdown right there. Now, there was a wee opportunity for Shanklin at the end, but you know, his blood is blue and he hit that softly at John McLaughlin because he loves Rangers almost as much as we did. And that's the game all wrapped up in a neat little bow. I was really impressed with so many performances in the game. I thought Hollander was excellent, despite giving about 20 minutes to say, right, you're going in now, this is the responsibilities you've got in the game. I thought he was brilliant. Again, Connor Goldson, outstanding. Barisic, brilliant. Tavernier, that right there, honestly, is probably his best performance of the season, and he was involved in everything we'd done that was positive for this football club, and that's what he brings you, driving for the back there. He was outstanding. John McLaughlin again had that wee iffy moment with Nicky Clark, but he was there when needed. And I just look at Glenn Kamara, came on, thought he was excellent. Stephen Davis, best performance by far of the season. If I'm honest, despite how well everyone else played that I've talked about so far, Davis for me was my man of the match. Winning the ball back, getting the ball, pinging passes about. Best performance I've seen from a long time in a Rangers shirt for Stephen Davis. And I'm just looking at Kamara, who I've already talked about in length. Ryan Kent continues to be the best player in the league so far this season, head and shoulders but everyone. Hadji returning back to what he can do with 2 assists to his name. Let's not forget what the wee Romanian wonder kid done in this game as well. So I'm just a happy guy. Fantastic performance, fantastic result. The only irritation that I've got is again this incompetence by these terrible referees, and the fact that this guy can continue to put in performances like that and we didn't say none, because honestly we need this. He's absolutely bogging, man. And with that being said, that is me all done and dusted. Sorry for the roller coaster of emotions in today's video, but I'm going to sleep very well tonight. What about you? What did you think of the game, and who was your man of the match? Again, I'm going to lean towards Stephen Davis, but Kent, Tavernier and Goldson were all up there in my opinion. And while you guys are hopefully getting your thoughts and opinions out there, we'll jump over to Twitter and hear from the people. There's still 56 minutes remaining, and yet there's been 1,723 votes. I don't even know how that's possible, but thank you so much for getting involved. 3% votes for other, 13% votes for Tavernier, 41% votes for Ryan Kent. But right now, as the poll is still going on, with 43% of the vote for your man of the match, the people's man of the match is none other than Stephen frickin' Davis, and I agree with that. Barney Stinson is the first one in. He writes in, horrendous officiating again from this offensive little man. Try as much as you can, but fail to take the shine off a terrific performance against cloggers and a 12th man. Great performance all over the park, and I'm so pleased to see Davis back to his best and man of the match performance. Matt writes in, Kent for me didn't stop the whole match. Roof work rate is brilliant, and Arfield made a real impact when he came on. Great to see another clean sheet. Batcher writes in, Arfield came on late but was absolutely class. Tough call for man of the match. Shame about all the injuries. Well, shout out to you, Batch. You've now reached 100,000 subscribers. You're doubling the nation, but we'll catch you. Alright, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Congrats, brother. Rossinator writes in, great performance and showing great depth in the squad right now. Absolutely gutted for Alfie and hope the other injuries are just minor and all okay. Bassey came on and looked a unit too. A very happy man with that performance. I had to do a wee cut there as the camera actually ran out, but we're actually back to finish off, and the last one we'll read out comes from In Kamara We Trust, and he must be delighted as Kamara had a great game. But he writes in, great from Davis, Kent and Glenn Kamara, but I say Stephen Davis actually edges it. CJ, I think we also need to call out Clancy. He is so one-sided against us. How he cannot be impartial is brutal, and we all see it, yet nothing is done. That was a Duran-esque challenge. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've heard from the people, you've heard from myself. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do by now. And as always, I've been CJNovo992. If you are new around here and you haven't hit that subscribe button, it'd be greatly appreciated if you can help us on our way towards 55k. But I'm all done and dusted. I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, and bye bye.